back to my channel. In case you guys didn't know, I started cosmetology school. Like, if you'd watched the video I made back in January, I did say at that time I was going to school, and long story short, that one didn't pan out very well. It's pretty much a scam, so I cut the cord on that one. Yeah, a few weeks ago I did start a new one, and I am learning so much, and I'm really liking it. I'm gonna start doing a series on all the tips that I'm learning from cosmetology school, tips that you probably haven't heard of before, just to help you guys, you know, whatever can make your routine easier, or, you know, just get you better results. So yeah, today I'm gonna be sharing with you guys 10 tips that I've learned in cosmetology school, or maybe I've learned it while I'm in cosmetology school, but it's something I learned outside of cosmetology school at the same time, if that makes sense. Without further ado, let's get started. First tip I have is a hair tip, and this is something that I kind of learned on my own. A while back I discovered this article online, and it had this tip in it, and I was like, whoa. So tip number one is to brush your hair vertically instead of horizontally if you have very tangly hair. This has literally been a game changer because I have extremely fine hair and it gets tangly so bad. And I don't really know what the science is behind this, but it works extremely well. Tip number two is to wait until your hair is 80 or 90% dry before you go in and round brush or use any kind of brush, because your hair is a lot more susceptible to damage when it's super wet and it's a lot more fragile. Another thing is that if you're trying to round brush it and actually like get it to shape a certain way, it's going to take you literally 50 times longer to actually do it, and it's just going to save you a whole lot of time if you either air dry it for at least 80 or 90%, or if you just blow dry it 80 or 90% dry and then go in with a brush. A brush is also more damaging when your hair is wet, so the less you do it, the better your hair is going to be. Tip number four is to cocktail your products if you are in a hurry, or if you just want to kind of save yourself some time. So what this means is basically, it's like how you make a cocktail. You put a bunch of things in, you mix it all up. So instead of putting on like layer after layer of product, just mix them all together, and it does the same thing, and it saves you so much time. Tip number five is to not shampoo your ends. If you just shampoo the roots of your hair, when you wash it out, it's going to actually wash onto the ends, and your ends are the most prone to breakage and damage. So the less you mess with them, the better your hair is going to be. And another thing that causes breakage and damage that we really don't pay much attention to is when we're washing the ends and we're kind of like twisting it up, and we do this little number right here so that all the shampoo gets on it, like when you put it on your roots, and that's so hard on your ends. So don't do that. Just shampoo your hair really well, and when you wash it out, it will rinse through your ends. Tip number six is to wring out your hair before you apply your conditioner. So usually we shampoo and then go straight into conditioner, but actually the more wet your hair is, the more it's going to dilute the conditioner, and it's just not going to be as effective. So right after you shampoo your hair, gently just wring out your hair like this. Don't do this little number right here, because again, that goes back to the previous tip of roughing up the ends. So just gently wring out your hair and then apply your conditioner, and you will see that your conditioner actually works a lot better that way. Tip number seven is to blow dry your hair in the direction of its growth. So sometimes we're in a hurry and we just try to get it done, and we kind of go down here and it's just kind of blowing the hair up, and we think it makes it dry faster, but actually it's making it more frizzy instead of real smooth and sleek. So if you hold your blow dryer up here to where it's kind of going down with the direction of the growth, the direction of the hair shaft, it's actually going to smooth it out and make it look a lot more silky and less frizzy. Tip number eight is to always use a diffuser, and this is kind of just something that I've kind of got my own theories on. There isn't really anything that says that you should do this all the time. Usually diffusers are for if you have curly hair, or if you're like round brushing, if you want to put it right on top of the brush. But the thing is, with a diffuser, any type of diffuser you use is actually going to protect your hair, because if you put like your regular blow dryer without a diffuser on it right up close to your hair, it's going to cause so much damage because the heat is so direct. Whereas if you have a diffuser on it, it's kind of going to give you a little bit of separation. It's going to kind of even out the air a little bit more. So always use a diffuser, especially if you're round brushing or using any type of brush to blow dry it, and that way you can actually put it right against the brush as you're going down, or whatever the case may be. This will save your hair a lot of damage. Tip number eight is to wash your hair for 3 to 5 minutes. And if you guys have noticed on shampoo bottles, it's kind of always been like a little funny thing on the back of shampoo bottles. It always says rinse and repeat, and no one ever does that. It's like we always wonder, why does it say rinse and repeat? But it says that because most of us do not shampoo our hair for a long enough time, and it takes 3 to 5 minutes for the shampoo to actually clean your hair and break down all the dirt and the oil and the products, and most of us usually don't do it that long. So that's why it says on bottles to do it twice, because if you're doing it twice, then it's probably going to be 3 to 5 minutes that you're actually doing it all together. Yeah, this is a great tip, especially if you have oily hair, because I have really, really oily hair, and I've noticed that since I started doing this, my hair is like kind of training itself to not be as oily, and I feel like it just doesn't get oily as fast. Tip number 9 is to end the shower with cool water instead of hot water. Hot water, as you guys have probably started seeing lately, it's so drying and it's so damaging on your hair, because if you think about it, like heating tools and like straighteners and curling irons and all that stuff, it's heat, it's damage. So it's kind of the same thing in a shower. You're still like, that's a lot of heat on your head. But wash the shampoo out of your hair with warm water, because when you use warm water, it's going to open up the cuticle and it's going to allow it to penetrate more, and it's going to allow the cuticle to open up for the conditioner as well. Once you're ready to wash out your conditioner, use lukewarm or cool water, as cool as you can get it, and that's going to like trap and seal the conditioner in the cuticle, and it's really going to allow it to penetrate instead of just sitting on top of the hair or getting washed away. And your hair is going to be a lot smoother, a lot silkier, and it's just going to make it a lot more shiny and more healthy, and this is also good for your skin as well. So the last tip is kind of a myth buster. Back in like the 50s and 60s especially, women used to brush their hair 100 times, and it was supposed to like promote hair growth and stimulate the scalp and blood circulation and all that stuff. But it's actually not beneficial to brush your hair that many times. It's actually more beneficial to brush your hair as little as possible, because it disrupts the scalp too much and it just pulls out too many hairs, because naturally we lose a lot of hairs. I'm not really sure of the number. And when you're brushing your hair constantly, especially if it's like 100 times, you're brushing out too many hairs, so your hair is going to kind of like thin out a little bit faster. So save those little hairs of yours and do not brush it 100 times. So that is it for my first video of my new series. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Make sure you leave me a comment below if you like the idea of the series, and if you are excited to learn with me. I'm so excited to learn actual like backed up, researched knowledge that's not given to me by the Google. Yeah, I hope you guys take something from this. If you guys try out any of these new tips, then make sure you leave it in the comments below. Let me know how it worked out for you. Thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me today. Thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe, follow me on all my social media, all the links are below, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Mwah!